all heroes. What are you doing here?
Yeah, we crawled out of your record player to help you.
So, Carla, what, Cecil? I never ask you much about yourself because I don't really care. All right, but I'm curious. What got you started in ventriloquism?
Oh, it's Carla Rhodes!
Well, I turned on the TV and I saw this woman named Sherry Lewis. They let ladies on TV. Yes, they did. Did she wear trousers? She had a little puppet named Lamb Chop, and I was 9 years old, and I was mesmerized by Sherry Lewis and Lamb Chop. She ended up becoming a mentor. Dreadful, I feel bad for you. Cecil, you know, without Sherry, you wouldn't even be here. Sherry was my everything. She's the reason why I became a ventriloquist.
All right, who wants coffee? That'll wake you up.
Oh yeah, coffee sounds great. That'll wake us up.
What did you do before I existed?
Well, I worked with Mick Jagger and Keith Richards.
You mean you slept with...
No, they were puppets in my act. I was kind of known as a rock and roll ventriloquist in New York City. There's a yearly ventriloquist convention in Fort Mitchell, Kentucky. I go to my friend's table who has a lot of memorabilia and stuff I like. I see a red ear sticking out from underneath the table. I go, what's that? And he's like, oh, it's this really horrible old dummy that no one wants. And I go, oh my God, I gotta see it. He pulls it out. It's Cecil. Cecil is actually an antique puppet from England in the 1920s. I do kind of believe when an object is old and antique, it's kind of like having a very old Gibson guitar. I have certain guitars that I feel like I can write better music on. Cecil's an instrument, and I just think he's got kind of this magic about him. I do have the typical ventriloquist thing with Cecil that sometimes if the crowd is good, stuff comes out of Cecil, and I have no idea where it's coming from.
Carla, I thought since we're at a public place and we're getting personal that it would be time for you to admit that you're a lesbian. What? You're a lesbian. Why don't you admit to everyone you're a lesbian? You are a lesbian. 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 Lesbian.
Being a ventriloquist is a double-edged sword because I think it turns a lot of people off, but it also makes people go, oh, that's like really different. But then what do you do with it? What's the audience for ventriloquism in 2014? For example, once my picture was in New York Magazine for the top 10 comedians to watch, and I didn't get one call from that. And everybody in that article now has done something very big.
So when are you gonna give up?
Well, it is hard to keep going after all this time, I will say that, because I am an outsider. What I do is very hard because I feel like for stand-up comedians, there's a pretty specific path that I think a lot of people follow. As a ventriloquist, yeah, I think people really don't know what to do with me. So basically, what I've done since forever is I've kind of just created my own world. My biggest goal, immediate goal, is a web series around Cecil because the audience can find him on the internet and go from there.
Coming soon, The Plight of Cecil, starring noted star of stage and screen, Cecil Sinclaire. Oh, and my dim-witted secretary, Carla Rhodes.
I think no matter what happens with me in my life, that I will always be doing something artistic. I have never been able to explain why I wanted to be a ventriloquist. I think maybe my purpose as an artist is to do something new with this. I definitely have done things with the art form of ventriloquism that I feel like have never been done before. So I'm very proud of that. Cecil, would you like to send us off with a tune?
Why, yes, I would. Let's crank that ventrilo to groove #1. Who wants a saltwater tatty? I've got a saltwater tatty. Hey, hey, hey. Ventriloquism.